When I was in high school, I had quite a bit that I was juggling, but I was still able to get straight A's because of these tips. First things first, finding motivation is the key to success. Figure out what inspires you to do well in your classes. Whether it is achieving your dream career, making your family proud, or proving something to yourself, having a clear motivation will drive you forward, especially during the harder times. So whatever that may be, find that motivation and come back to it whenever things get rough. If you need to, don't hesitate to make a vision board or a Pinterest board to get you in the mood to study, and that way you romanticize it, get started, stay focused, and retain what you learn. If you're a business girly like me, here are some vision boards that I have seen that get me in the mood to work, but regardless of what you pursue, find your drive and let it help you get those good grades. Because if you don't know exactly why you are doing something, trust me, it's not going to stick in your brain, and it's not really going to do you any good. But when you envision exactly what you're working towards and you see yourself there, you're going to know why these straight A's are coming in handy, and you're going to be more motivated to work towards them. My next habit that made such a difference throughout my classes is building a relationship with each and every one of your teachers. Building a good rapport with your teachers or professors can be invaluable. They are there to help you succeed. So ask questions, participate in class discussions, and seek their guidance when you need it. But here's the thing. Most of the time, the first time a student approaches a teacher, it's to ask them for something, ask for a favor, explain why they turned something in late. But if you do this instead, I promise you, your teacher will immediately like you more and be more willing to help you next time you need something. Approach your teacher at the beginning or end of the first day of class. Introduce yourself, shake their hand, and make conversation with them. I implore you to do this. It could be something as small as, "I'm really looking forward to calculus with you," or "I thought today's lesson was really fun," or "I love that picture of your dog. What breed is he?" Spark conversation so that the next time you need something, they already have a good impression of you. First impressions are so important, so make that good first impression and then consistently build an authentic connection from there. You don't want to ask your sophomore year teacher for a rec letter when you haven't spoken to them in 2 years. Instead, keep on building that relationship so you have that support system that can help you when you need it. Intentionally work on the relationships and let them get to know your genuine self. Next thing is to identify what learning styles work best for you. If you're like me and you enjoy watching videos, then use that to your advantage. Watch educational videos on topics you find difficult, or look for online tutorials that explain concepts in a way that clicks for you. For example, I had a statistics class which, for the life of me, I just could not understand my teacher's lectures. And then he would go ahead and give us textbook work, which I could not understand either. So what I did was, I went to the other teachers who taught statistics, did their homework because I understood it. Then I would go back, do my statistics homework, and submit it. And finally, I would understand it and ace the tests. That being said, feel free to experiment with different methods until you find what suits you best. Different people like different things, so try a mix of methods until you settle on what you like. If you learn best through visuals, I would suggest diagrams, charts, mind maps, and then color coding your notes is also really fun and motivating as well. If you are someone who learns by listening, I would suggest study groups so that you guys can go back and forth and talk about things. I would also suggest recording the lectures so that you can listen to them, or reading your notes out loud. If you are someone who likes reading and writing and learns best through that, I would suggest flashcards, rewriting your own notes, reading them out loud, and summarizing your chapters, creating outlines to break down complex information into more manageable parts. My next tip is a little longer, but it is definitely one of the most important things I've learned throughout high school. It is study effectively. Now, in disguise, this tip is actually familiarize yourself with the class routine. In school and college, we all have so much going on, and it's hard to split our time between education, extracurriculars, family, and friends. That being said, effective studying is crucial to getting straight A's while not drowning yourself in the workload. One of the most common suggestions is break down your study session into smaller chunks rather than cramming the night before the test. If you do have time for that, definitely study like that because it is extremely effective for learning, understanding, and retaining. However, if you find yourself in a place like me where you don't have enough time to dedicate multiple hours to studying each day and you are very involved in extracurriculars and activities, this next tip is going to help you bridge that gap and improve your grades so that you can get straight A's every time. Study the class routine. Understand when assignments are due, when tests are scheduled, and any special requirements or expectations your teacher has. Being organized and aware of how the teacher operates is what's going to help you study most efficiently. If you can familiarize yourself with the class routine, you've already won half the battle. Take the first few weeks to analyze the teacher's style and patterns. Sometimes the tests are pretty much straight from the quizzes. Sometimes they're from the review given the day before. Other times the optional assignments will be really helpful and relevant. So find what the teacher builds their graded content around and really focus on that while you do have time to study. Use that to your advantage. From there, you already know the schedule, so nothing will come as a surprise to you. So that way, the time you do have will become the most effective. In high school, I was very involved in a lot of activities that kept me out of the house till 8 or 9 p.m. every day, so being able to effectively study was really important to me. The major thing that got me A's in my classes was adapting my studying to the way each class ran and getting into a routine very early on in the semester. If you guys do this, it will be so helpful in your higher level classes. My next habit is to organize your tasks and create to-do lists in one place. This simple tool will help you stay on track and ensure you never miss deadlines. Check them off like a to-do list as you complete them. It's incredibly satisfying and keeps you focused. I prioritize my tasks based on urgency and importance. I use the Notes app, physical planners, and the Notion app. Notion is such a great software for beginners and professionals to keep track of their work. I play around with it all the time and I love seeing the different styles of digital planners that I can make. It's super simple. All you have to do is go in, make an account. I just use my Google account, and then create a planner that fits your needs. You can also download Notion templates, and I'll link some of my favorites in the description below. Practice makes perfect. My next tip is practice, 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 especially when it comes to mastering challenging subjects. Don't shy away from practice problems or revisiting concepts until you feel confident in them. This builds knowledge, but also boosts your self-assurance for when you're nervous for the test. My favorite apps for this are Quizlet and Gimkit. Basically, these apps provide you the opportunities to self-study concepts and get in reps before you're tested on them. For those of you who don't know Gimkit, it's an app where students can create quizzes for themselves, and it also has game modes where answering questions are a part of the game, and it helps you advance in the game. There are several options to this, and they're so much fun to study with groups and friends. There you have it, my habits and tips on how to ace your classes and get straight A's. Remember, implement these tips consistently and you'll be well on your way to achieving your academic goals. Thank you for watching.